Danny Flexon for Seconds Out, and with Jazza Dickens, Golden Contract finalist.
Yep.
I guess that's kind of the first question. How relieved, if that's the right word, do you feel that you're one of the few people that's got a fight lined up for when all this is over?
Yeah, that is relieving. That was one of the things why I entered the tournament, because I knew the fights people couldn't pull out of them, and also he was there for the activity and that guarantee of actually getting fights.
Yeah, it's a bit of a result. I mean, obviously, it's not going to come as soon as you would have hoped with all this going on, but it's better that it's in the books and there's no getting away from it.
Yeah.
I obviously interviewed you before the semi-final against Lee Wood. It seemed to most people like a 50-50 fight. CK and Sky obviously thought so because they made it the main event and where it was positioned on the card. But you seemed very much in the build-up as if you thought a lot of people were picking against you. You seemed like you had a point to prove. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, well, I think that was against me because the betting office had me down, didn't they? By a lot. So I think that by going by the end results, they're not going to want to lose the money. You know, they don't like losing the money, do they? So they sort of seem to know what they're talking about normally. So that's why I felt like I was so much the underdog, you know. And plus that he is the Sky fighter, and he's the regular fighter on the Sky. So that probably that was the point to prove, you know, that I am the best fighter in this tournament, and I'm not going to just I'm not here to make the numbers up, you know.
I'm sure a lot of people close to you made a fair bit of cash on those crazy odds.
Yeah. For a good while, people say, the betting slips, saying, look how much I've won, look how much I've won. There was a good bit of money won on that fight. Probably a lot lost as well, but there was a good bit of money won.
That's good stuff. The performance you put on, I think everyone was really impressed with. Did it go exactly how you'd planned it out?
I didn't like see it in that way. It did go our plans. I wanted to win, and that was it really. Getting a win, no matter what way how the fight went. Adapt to whatever the situation would be, and getting a win. That was it. Yeah.
And did he do anything differently or anything that surprised you once you were in there, or was it pretty much as expected?
Yeah, it's pretty much what I expected by the footage I've seen of him. I think he's had that style for a long time, and there's no changing that style. And I knew from previous encounters in the amateur and stuff like that, being able to adapt was my strength and not his. So I think the fight was only going to get better for me and worse for him, as I was the one who could adapt.
Do you think that you get underrated to an extent, not just because you're not the Sky fighter and you haven't had that sort of build-up, but also you've got 3 defeats on your record, and maybe people don't look beyond that to see who those defeats were against?
Well, that's boxing for you, isn't it? You know, that boxing fans, they say he's lost him. He must be. Can I swear?
Yeah, go for it. Why not?
Must be shite. And he's a journeyman. If he lost 3 fights, he must be a journeyman. You know, that's what people are looking at. But put half of these people in a fight, will he ever win one? So I don't know. True boxing fans watch the sport and they know the game. They see the talent in the fighter, and they sort of true boxing fans know what the fighter is capable of. You know, so they're good at reading fights. But if you've lost 3 fights in this day and age, you're probably not the fans' favourite, you know.
Yeah, but I mean, if you look at who you've lost to, Kid Galahad, obviously world title challenger. A lot of people felt he was unlucky against Josh Warrington when he had his shot. Tommy Ward, future world title challenger at least, we think, or maybe a world champion, we don't know. And Rigondo, who's like a living legend, both in amateur and professional games. What?
Yeah, I think in hindsight, looking back when Mickey finished, you would probably say he lost to 2 world champions. So, but that doesn't give me no consolation, you know. I lost, I lost the fights, and that's that. So, I just know what I'm capable of. I'm not going to say I'm the best fighter to ever live. I'm not going to say that. But what I can say is there's nobody on my day that I can't beat, and I'm confident in that, you know.
How are you getting on training wise while all this is going on? Are you still able to get some of your training in, your runs and stuff, I guess?
Yeah, I'm in the car park here. I woke up at 3 o'clock last night in the morning, And I thought, I'll just go for a run. I'll park the car by the car park, by the garage. I get a coffee out of there, and then I go for a run. So I was doing like press-ups in the car park. And so yeah, I love training, man. I love it. I haven't got no bag in the house though, so I've been in the mattress, been throwing the mattress against the wall. Like, remember in the 90s and you were a kid? That's what I've just been doing whatever I can to stay, you know, I go a bit off key if I don't train. So I've just been keeping myself sane.
You've always been kind of into doing your runs at weird times and stuff, haven't you? You're like Batman or something. You like going out when everyone else is asleep.
Yeah, it gives me like a mental edge, you know. Not everybody can do it at that time. Not everybody can do it. Not everyone will get out of bed when they don't want to. So it gives me a little bit of a mental edge as well. It's nice to know that I've been the one who's done that little bit extra, you know.
How are you finding all this mentally, as you talked about the kind of the psychological part, having to be restricted, knowing what's going on in the wider world as well? It's pretty scary, I guess. And how have you been coping with all that?
I haven't watched the news, Dan. This to me, what everyone's going to now is camp. This is what I call camp. You know, this is just normality for me. I feel sorry for everybody else, of course, and I haven't been affected by it so much as I've just been paid from my last fight. I can't believe, imagine what some people are going through right now. But in terms of what happens for me, my kids are off school. I get more time with my kids. I get more time with my partner, and my training resumes as always. Nothing changes for me. My life's actually gone better because I get my kids. I won't watch the news because, you know, it's mostly just scaremonger and negativity. So for me, nothing's changed. Nothing at all. Probably the outlook I've got as well is look on the bright side all the time. But yeah, not much has changed for me then. Why? What's happening?
Yeah, the whole world's been wiped out. It's like 24 days later. There'll be nothing when you come out of camp. No, but seriously, what was I going to say? Yeah, so you've obviously talked in the past about how important your faith is to you.
Yeah.
Has that been kind of a help in all this, that you're used to being quite solitary and having that sort of relationship with God?
Yeah, of course. I was this morning. I've been on the phone to the priest. You know what I mean? How are you getting on? And it's a bit mad, isn't it? While everyone's flapping and stuff like that. So to have faith in something sort of helps you in that way. You know, I've got a strong faith, and you know, and anything like this comes along doesn't really affect me as much as it does. I see other people around me flapping, and it doesn't affect me that much.
Got Ryan Walsh, obviously, in the final, MTK Golden Contract, whenever that takes place. What did you make of his semi-final performance against Tyrone McCullough?
I haven't seen the fight. I didn't see it. I was on after him, wasn't I?
Yeah, you haven't watched it since.
No, I heard Tyrone was I heard Tyrone was down a few times, but I haven't seen the fight. But I wouldn't watch that fight because Tyrone's probably not. He's not going to allow you to perform at your best. So I'll probably watch a fight where I'll see him at his best. I give him the credit that he deserves. You know.
How do you see Ryan Walsh's style matching up to yours? Because I think for most people out there, they see it being a bit of a thriller, similar to the Lee Wood fight.
I don't see it there like myself. I just I feel like I'm better than him at most things. I do. Yeah. I can't see anything. I just feel like I'm better at most things. But I will give him the respect that he does deserve, as he's a great champion. I don't think there's many fighters who've held on to the title as long as he has. So I don't know. I think it was a bit unfair the way he got his belt took off him as well. I think he should be the champion still, and I should be fighting for the British title too.
You'd be a two-weight British champion, wouldn't you, if you were to win that?
Yeah. It's mad because this tournament I've beat the EU, EBU champion and the Commonwealth champion, and I haven't got
Either
none of
belt. Yeah.
the
You're the uncrowned king.
Yeah.
What does the future hold beyond the tournament? I know you don't like to look too far ahead of your next opponent, but should it all go well when you become the Golden Contract champion and you get the contract, which would be great security for your family and everything else that comes with it, what's the future hold in boxing terms beyond that?
I haven't thought too much about how the aspects of like my career was. All I see that is how I'm gonna put the work in and let everybody else worry about getting me the world title shot. All I can do is train, and that's all I think. I think every day, every night, I'm going to be world champion. I have been for years now, and I still believe that that's on the horizon. Believe that's going to come to me soon. It's not my job to believe how. All my job is to do is just to take my opportunities when they come. This golden contract, I've probably never had an opportunity like it. So my job is my career was on a bit of it weren't going too well. I hadn't had a win for 2 years then. Not getting opportunities, not fighting, and like just not going my way. But if I haven't had a win for 2 years, all of a sudden I've had about 4 or 5 wins on a bounce or something, good wins. Everyone's been on the canvas when I've fought them, and yeah, I'm at a career best. So boxing's a bit of a mad thing, you know what I mean? So I just believe I'll be world champion, and it'll come whatever way it comes. That's not for me to worry about.
What do you put that change in fortunes down to? Because, like you say, you're on a great run. You're on Sky Sports now as well. You're with MTK, the biggest management powerhouse in the world. How has that changed for you, do you think?
I just believe it's down to me persistence. I lost for the business title about 3 years in. I lost for the business title. I won Central Area, I think it was something like that, and an English title beforehand. I lost the business title. My career went like I was on my arse. You know what I mean? It's hard then to come back up after your first loss. I was persistent. I came back and won the business title. Then it was mandatory to fight for the European and got the world title shot. So then I lost the world title, and then I lost the business title after that. Career's back on its arse. You know what I mean? And I was persistent. And I think just being persistent, you'll get the equal reward to your sacrifice, you know, and that's all it was. People saying, oh, you done well to saying that round, and stuff like that. But the truth is, I was just doing the same thing every single day, only that nowadays seeing what I've been doing. Maybe just persistence. That's what I put it down to, but I don't know.
Well, I think that's a good example for anyone out there watching who's had a bit of a bad run of luck. Even for Lee Wood, who you beat in the last fight, that he can still come back.
Yeah, of course. I felt a bit sorry for Lee watching the interview, watching it back after the fight, and I've been in this situation. Me and Miguel was watching the fight, and it was just a bit of a sad thing that someone had to lose because he's a good fighter. And I believe if it was a different draw, I'd have met him in the final.
Well, I really appreciate your time. Obviously, we've all got loads of free time at the moment, but still, appreciate you shaving some of it off for me. I hope we get to see you soon in person, especially if the final's obviously down this neck of the woods. We'll see you in the run up to that.
Yeah. What's your opinion on when will boxing be back?
You put me on the spot there. It's hard to say because things keep getting delayed more and more. I'm hoping July. I think once you get past that, then you're looking at the season break as normal, and it probably won't be until September. So I'm hoping July, because otherwise there's going to be a massive bottleneck in the autumn.
All right. Well, I'm going to go to Chippy now and get a pizza, and I'll blame it on you.
Yeah, that's fair enough. You always come back at like welterweight or something. It's fine.
Thanks for having me on, Dan.
Take care, mate. I'll speak to you soon.
All right. Tell me.